Hello and welcome to Guiseley AFC Radio and our live YouTube stream tonight of the Lions and a home game here against Darlington. I have to say, it's been a while since we last here at Nethermoor. In fact, it's been one whole month. Guiseley with the fewest games played in the division in the league after having a number of postponements in recent weeks and, of course, a small cup run. Darlington are just a place below the Lions in the National North. They've played a game more, 4 games played and 3 points. The Lions having amassed 4 from 3 games. But just above us, there are teams having played 8 matches. So it's true to say that this evening's game is somewhat of a playing mismatch in terms of the league games that have been so far achieved this season. But a very nicely balanced match seems in prospect with Guiseley looking for the points that would kick us on after a disappointing time last time out here at Nethermoor, a 1-0 defeat to Hereford, followed by exit from the FA Cup the week afterwards at FC United. A creditable draw at Boston followed, but we are certainly looking for the positives this evening. There's not too many positives to report, I'm afraid, thus far from the Academy game. You wait for a game to come along and then 2 happen on the same night, where Cambridge United, unfortunately, are leading by 2-0. But we're going to keep tabs on that game. That game kicked off at 7 o'clock, and we will be keeping tabs on that one throughout the evening. I'm Colin Robertson. Alongside me tonight is Nick Keefe. Good evening, Nick. I almost said good morning there. Evening. It's a very mild evening here, and it's great to be back at Nethermoor. It's great to have a game of football on here finally.
Yeah, it is. It's a very mild evening. We were enjoying some pretty chilly weather the last time we were here, and it feels now more like a late summer sort of evening. And once again, we're here in this very strange atmosphere where the players and the coaches and the support staff to facilitate the match are all here, but those people all being here just highlights the absence of atmosphere and of all of you who are listening and watching. And we're grateful for you joining us, and we hope you enjoy it this evening. But we're very sorry that you're not here with us.
Absolutely, that is the biggest miss of the evening. Is the supporters, the fans, the people that make this place special, to be perfectly honest. And we're very grateful that you've joined us on the YouTube. The Mixlr chat room as well here is also up and operating. If you want to join us on that, share your thoughts on there. We would be very grateful, very glad to hear from you. And of course, this is a free stream. We're going free with the purpose of making it available to all. But of course, there's a pay-as-you-feel option that we're putting out there. We'll be incredibly grateful if you can make a donation, a contribution to us being able to put this on. It does cost money to be able to cover every game. You will find a link on our YouTube feed tonight that will take you through to the crowdfunder that will be able to direct you to where you can make a donation. We'd be hugely grateful if you can do that. We're going to come to the 2 teams now. First of all, for our visitors, Melvin Minter, Jordan Watson, Michael Liddell, Joseph Wheatley, Lewis Lang, Will Hatfield, remember him, Dan Maguire, Adam Campbell, Omar Holness, Erico Sousa and Anthony McMahon. And on the bench, Jonathan Saltmer, Jarrett Rivers, Theodore Hudson, Levi Amanchi and David Atkinson. So Guiseley line up as follows. Brad Wade in goal, George Cantrell, Brad Nicholson, Mark Howarth, Hamza Ben Sharif, Dan Cowan, Matty Gillam, Prince Ekpolo, Jonathan Wafula, LeBrun Becker, Gabriel Johnson, and on the bench, Isaac Curry, Cian Harrett, Jack Ryan, Nathan Newell, and Andy Kellett. So Andy Kellett makes a mention on the bench, which is good to see. Maybe he may get some game time today. But what's your thoughts ahead of this one then, Nick, in terms of the lineup we've got and what you might expect us to perform tonight?
Well, the changes and the decisions were up front for Russ O'Neill and Marcus Bignot tonight. Kane Felix doesn't feature. We know he's out injured. The other decision that was made is no Cian Harrett in the starting lineup. So Jonathan Wafula returns in place of Harrett, and Matty Gillam has been chosen to take that number 7 shirt that Kane Felix has been wearing. And Matty Gillam's looked like potentially a handy player to me when he's come on and had short appearances from the bench. He's looked willing and lively, and now he has his chance to start a game and show what he can do when picked to do the whole 90 minutes potentially. Looking forward to seeing Andy Kellett as well, as you say later on. We know he's an interesting signing, and we had a really nice chat with him a month ago or so up here in the stand while he was out injured, and we know he was hoping to be back in time for this. So hopefully we're in a position where we can see him come on and show us a little bit of what he's about later in the evening.
Two sides now just making their way onto the field. Darlington in a green shirt, white shorts and green socks. They're going to be joined now by the Lions, who make their way as well. In this new style, of course, the two sides kind of amble out separately as COVID protocols dictate. And the referee today joins, and that's Peter Shacklady. Stephen Rushworth is the first assistant, and Benjamin Tomlinson the second. As we're about to get underway in this evening's game. Good evening to Lion Cub, who is just mentioning on the Mixlr chat room how many people are tuning in. It's great to have you along with us. We're really grateful to have you. And it is a free stream tonight. If you feel you can contribute, that would be great, really grateful, because there's cost to making this stream available on actually getting the stream on. And so you just go to the YouTube feed and look for the link. And RC Lion saying, I don't know, you give me a few challenges here, RC Lion. Any chance of a shout out to Chris Scherholz watching in Deutschland? So
nicely done.
Did I do that right?
I think so.
I've never spoken German. I probably still haven't. But yeah, the two sides now just going through the coin toss. Will Hatfield and Hamza Ben Sharif. What's your thoughts on Will Hatfield being back here again? There was a bit of spice, wasn't there, last time he was here at Nethermoor?
There was, and I don't know how much of it was intentional on his part. You know, he made a little bit of a loose comment about Darlington being a proper club, and thin-skinned Guiseley fans and staff and officials, being as we are, all took that as a slight on Will's part to say we weren't a real club. I don't know if he really meant that, but if he had, then he certainly had the last laugh all the same, because he obviously was on the score sheet in a big way that night, wasn't he? So probably another hat trick again for him tonight. But we've gone our own way since the days of the team that Will played in. Definitely a new look Lions team, but already feels at the start of this new season pretty familiar to us who have been watching, doesn't it?
Yeah, it certainly does. Just that big omission in Kane Felix, who of course scored the goal a couple of years ago when we had to win to avoid relegation, or confirm that we were going to avoid relegation in the first season back in the National North. But other than that, a pretty strong Guiseley side this evening, as the referee just goes through the final checks, gets the game underway. Darlington, if you're listening on the Mixlr chat room, it's Darlington who are shooting from right to left towards the scoreboard end of the ground, and Guiseley who were shooting up towards the bowling green end of the ground. Early throw for Darlington on the halfway line. It's played in by Michael Liddle. Now on the ball with Omar Holness. He is intercepted. His ball is intercepted by Matty Gillam. Gets the play up into the Darlington half. There's a clearance. Fleck on now by Holness, and Guiseley managed to clear with Ben Sharif with firm header over the halfway line. Howarth on the ball. Looks like he's challenge just takes a clip on the halfway line. So the first free kick of the game is the Lions.
I actually spoke slightly too soon about how familiar this side is, because as we start the game this evening, George Cantrell's been out on the left, and Gabriel Johnson started on the right of midfield. So although the personnel are familiar, just in a slightly different arrangement to what we've seen them most recently.
Free kick in the just on the halfway line. Gives Guiseley a chance to get some big men forward towards Becker and Ben Sharif, who's in the box. Becker nods on. Ben Sharif still in there. Plays it on. Gabriel Johnson on the right-hand side. Plays it across the face of goal. It's a scramble to get it away. On the edge of the area. Shot comes in here from Ipola. Takes a deflection. It'll be a corner. to Guiseley.
That's a great scramble in that box away to our right to start the game. Opportunities for Guiseley to try and get a shot in at close range. It was Gabriel Johnson breaking out on the right. He tried to cut the ball in inside the 6-yard box, but eventually beaten away, deflected away for this corner.
Corners on the right-hand side. Lots of players clustering in the 6-yard box as it's swung in towards the edge of the 6-yard box and headed wide by Hamza Ben Sharif, who was given an awful lot to do with the way the ball was placed in the area. And it's gone behind for a goal kick. Just a couple of minutes, 0-0. Bright start, though, from the Lions.
Yeah, it has been, and they'll be glad to have got the ball into the opposition half early on. And Darlington now have a turn at the restart from this goal kick. They'll want to get themselves into this game and get started.
Polo on the ball, now to Becker, now Howarth on the halfway line. Taking a little run forward with it towards Gabriel Johnson, just beyond him. He stuck a leg out, and it rolls through to Melvin Minter, the Darlington goalkeeper.
Yeah, Melvin Minter with invisible legs because he's wearing green, I don't know, base layer between his purple shorts and socks. And if you catch him at the right angle, it just looks like there's something missing between his knee and his thigh.
Throw in for Guiseley on the halfway line. It's short to Ekpolo. He's crowded out of play. And now Darlington will collect the ball down the left-hand side. Upfield towards Maguire. Dan Maguire, though, is beaten to it by Ben Sharif. And then when it comes to the halfway line, Wheatley is fouled by Howarth. And free kick has been given to Darlington.
First impressions as somebody who's not seen Darlington play this season, and if you're a Darlington fan joining us, we hope you'll find this bearable to watch or listen to. Not a lot of height in this Darlington team, is there?
Now Wheatley's on the ball. He's going around trying to battle with Wafula. Wafula felt he was fouled a moment before. He's going to be spoken to by the referee. He went back in to challenge Wheatley, the man who he felt had fouled him. Gabriel Johnson also arguing his case. And Jonathan Wafula just going to be spoken to by the referee. I don't think there's going to be a card. I think that's just a talking to on this instance.
Well, I think he was tempted to actually at first. The referee there was a little bit of a movement of the arm towards the pocket, but 30 seconds later he's sent Wafula on his way and told him to behave himself and not spoil the game for himself.
Good evening to the Espresso Cat, who's just saying rather watch this in National League, France versus Sweden.
Yeah. International football's horrible, isn't it? Have we never really talked about that in all the years we've been doing this? It's awful, isn't it?
I quite like it.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Now the ball's just ricocheted from that free kick and back into the Darlington half. There's a really good chase on there from Gillam, but as it bounces into the Guiseley half, it's an awkward ball for Brad Nicholson to get underneath. Darlington have it now on the right flank. There's green shirts moving into the box. If the ball can come across by Holness on that right-hand side. In the end, the delivery into the box is a good one. It requires a rather fortunate header to place the ball behind for a corner, but really, it was a really good delivery that could have gone anywhere from that header. The corner is taken short, quickly, and then overhit. And an unfortunate end to that move for Darlington, but a fortunate one for the Lions, because I think with that rather loose header, Lions could have been in a bit more trouble than that.
Yeah, and there was potentially something on from a short corner if it was worked really well. It's just unfortunate for Darlington that cross sailed safely over the touchline.
Alan Thompson just pointing out that the Scotland game was great on Thursday.
Yeah, I was thinking, as we were waiting to see that corner taken, I was thinking maybe my opinion comes from the fact that I only usually watch England games where a maximum of 1 in 10 is enjoyable.
Ball on the halfway line as Darlington take the throw. It's going back to the back line as they have possession of the ball.
Unless you really enjoy watching teams just play sideways for 90 minutes and then, maybe get one fluky goal or concede one soft one.
Campbell takes it and plays it in here to Jordan Watson. Watson tries to get past Ekpolo. He's beaten by Ekpolo. And then as Howarth gets it away, there's a couple of little bites at the Lions players there from Darlington. And there's going to be a talking to. One of them was, of course, Will Hatfield, who might actually go in the book here early doors, which is surprising, to be fair.
It's surprising after what's been before, actually. Yeah, I thought he would get the talking to as well, and the referee would call that evens. Although it does annoy me a little bit when referees do it on the basis of what they think is even rather than what's actually happened. I'm not saying that was a stonewall booking for Will Hatfield, but the sense that, well, he should get a talking to because one from the other team did, doesn't really wash. It should be based on what's actually happening.
Free kick goes up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's picked up here by Howarth, who's doing well here to battle up high the field, but Guiseley can't work their way through, and Darlington clear, and Hatfield scurries forward now over the halfway line. The Lions could be in trouble here. The ball in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. It's taken back to the goalkeeper by Dan Cowan, and Brad Wade has to put his foot through it. Maguire was almost ahead of Dan Cowan there. Guiseley struggling at the moment here just to get out as it's back here with Holness, back into the box as Guiseley get it clear eventually with Johnson collecting the ball and giving it to Ekpolo, and a rather clumsy challenge from Gabriel Johnson, Michael Liddle, and it'll be a free kick to Darlington midway through the Lions half out here out on the left-hand side.
Yeah, there's a bit of bite, isn't there, in this, actually? It can creep up on you without the atmosphere and the fans reacting, but there are a few players who look really up for it, and it's certainly good fight by the looks of it from Will Hatfield and Joseph Wheatley.
Liddle gets the ball into the box. It's cleared. Becker's clearance is only as far as Will Hatfield, who again is playing an influential role in this game. Holness will take one from distance. Oh, it was a good strike, and it's tipped over by Brad Wade and behind. He only had one thing in his mind, did Omar Holness, as soon as he had sight of goal from about 20 yards out, and that was to strike the ball, and it's well tipped over by Brad Wade in a corner to Darlington. Yeah,
it was a really good, clean, powerful strike, wasn't it? And it wasn't quite clear from here whether that had been tipped over or if it had just swerved upwards slightly at the last moment, but it was the goalkeeper for Guiseley who conceded this corner.
Corner comes in from the right-hand side into the box, headed away. Guiseley under a bit of pressure here. The ball back into the area once again by Campbell towards the edge of the 6-yard box, but the referee has seen a foul, and Guiseley will claim that one quite gratefully. 10 minutes gone almost. It's still 0-0 between the Lions and Darlington, but Darlington have just come close to opening the deadlock.
Well, it's clear that Darlington are going to have to play with plenty of energy. They're not going to be playing long balls like this one we've just seen up to Jonathan Wafula for Guiseley. Will Hatfield is not, for Guiseley fans listening, Will Hatfield's not one of the shorter players in this Darlington team. There's a sort of a reference point. So they're not going to be knocking it long. They're going to be swarming and high energy in midfield. They're going to be looking to win the ball back quickly and then trying to push through gaps in the Guiseley defence. And so far they've looked to carry some threat when doing that.
Andy P just saying, great to have the dream team on commentary today.
Oh, yeah.
And then followed up, Guiseley loyal. What, Mick Fleetwood and Sam Fox on commentary?
I don't know what to do with that because I know instinctively that you're Mick Fleetwood.
The ball down the left-hand side as Guiseley attack, and it rolls through.
One for the kids, that one, eh?
Melvin Minter. Worked out from Darlington up towards the left-hand side. Liddle's not going to be able to get there on the end of the header from Campbell. So it'll be a throw for the Lions, which Cowan will take in field. Becker closed down by Hatfield. Nice touch there from Becker into the feet of Gillam. Brad Nicholson into the centre circle. Oh, he plays a loose ball and gives the opportunity here for Adam Campbell to collect the ball off him. Guys, he don't clear well now, and Hatfield has a shot from distance, and oh, he's hit the top of the crossbar. He saw Brad Wade maybe an inch or two off his line, thought he'd try the long ranger, and it dipped down onto the crossbar and behind for a goal kick. And Guiseley have again got away with one, and in that instance, it was a second long-range shot that's caused problems.
Well, they did get away with one, and trying not to be too Guiseley-centric, although that was an absolutely terrible pass by Brad Nicholson, and let's not make any bones about that. But the pressure on the ball, the pressure on possession, coming forward from the front line from the visitors, that's what made that chance. That's what forced that indecision and that mistake. And it wouldn't have been undeserving to see that shot come underneath the crossbar, would it?
Okay, so play a long ball forward that's dealt with by Darlington, and then they move it into the Lions half. This is a good clearance here from Becca. He tries to play it long again. The Lions trying to play it over the top, trying to get Matty Gillam away on that occasion, with Fuller away. But so far, Darlington had coped with it. As the long ball goes forward up towards Campbell. Cowan just watches that one go over his head and out for a throw-in on the right-back position. Still 0-0, 13 minutes gone.
Yeah, it's got a good tempo to it so far, good energy levels. We'll see how long that can last for. But obviously Guiseley should be relatively fresh, not having had an awful lot to do recently.
Well, fresh to a bit rusty, to be honest.
Well, one of those two, yeah. Were they allowed to train during that break? They weren't, were they?
I don't know. Cantrell now. Yes, I think you are. You are as elite.
But not while self-isolating.
Ball into the box. It's up towards Gabriel Johnson. Yes, good point. Johnson with a header inside the penalty area, which goes straight to the goalkeeper. Rolled out to that right-hand side, and Darlington look to move the ball up into the feet of Maguire. They can't hold on to possession on this occasion, and the ball is out for a Guiseley throw, halfway line.
So we'll just add that to the list of unknown factors in this unusual season or spell or whatever this is. The things that we don't know what impact they'll have. Add that to the list. No crowds, unclear how much you can train, unclear the effects of not having games because your games or other teams have been cancelled. It's going to make it very unpredictable this season.
Polo on the ball to Cowan. Cowan plays it over the top like Polo's kept running. Can he keep it in play? It's down the right-hand side by the corner flag. He does get there before it goes out. Plays it in field now to Gabriel Johnson. He's forced away from goal and out to that touchline. Looking for a pass back in. Finds one in the shape of Mbeka. He's midway through the Darlington half. Sprays it out to the left-hand side. And in the end, I think that's controlled by the arm of George Cantrell. And it will be a free kick to Darlington in right-back position. So still 0-0, 14 minutes gone. Goals elsewhere. Kidderminster beating Brackley by 1-0. Leamington are losing 2-0 at home to Alfreton. And that's about it in the National North. The Blythe-Spennymoor game was postponed as well. A coronavirus case in the Blythe camp. As Cowan takes a heavy touch. He doesn't keep it in play. I thought he maybe had gone out, but the offside flag had already gone up against Maguire. So it's a free kick to Guiseley. He's going to be forced to take it a few yards further towards the goal. Gloucester, who play us on Saturday, who will make their way here. They're leading at Hereford by 1-0. So the league leaders look like they're going to cement, or working to cement their place at the top this evening. Ben Sharif takes a short free kick to Cowan and then gets the ball back before hoofing it up into the Darlington half. It's collected by Mbeka just ahead of Will Hatfield. He's fouled in the process by Holness. And Holness is going to be the second player in the book. The referee went straight to his pocket on that occasion. Didn't look particularly bookable, to be perfectly honest.
The referee's saying he keeps gesturing towards one that happened over near the dugouts earlier, there certainly didn't look to be a yellow card offence in that particular foul. And more annoyingly, it was a really good opportunity for Guiseley. He should have played advantage and let it go for a moment.
Don't know if we prefer the set play in this instance.
Well, as I say, we have the height advantage if we want to get the tall players forward, but Dan Cowan stayed back. You know, we haven't packed the box.
Howarth will take it, curls it in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Referee gives a free kick against Hamza Ben Sharif.
And that's the challenge, actually, when you've got such a... Well, we've got a player down inside the area, so we'll just wait for the Darlington physio to come on, I think, here. But this is the thing where you've got such a height advantage that, you know, the tall player, in this case Ben Sharif, will quite often look like he's fouling, you know, without having his arms too high up compared to him. But compared to the person he's, you know, up against, it will look quite high, if you see what I mean. Anyway, in the meantime, we're just waiting for this player to be treated. And it's one of these moments where you suddenly realise how quiet it is in the ground. You know, all the players have stopped shouting. There's been so much communicating out on the pitch, you know, that you know, they make all of the noise inside the ground, and suddenly you realise we're just sat on the side of the A65, you know, in silence. It's really weird.
Well, let's just give a quick rundown of some of the scores out and around. Hartlepool 0, Wrexham 0, Sutton 1, Dagenham Redbridge 0, Aldershot 0, Maidenhead 0, Altrincham 0, Chesterfield 1, Barnet 0, Kings Lynn 1, Bromley 0, Borehamwood 1, Dover 1, Woking 1, Eastleigh 0, Wealdstone 0, FC Halifax 0, Notts County 1, so it's not all bad tonight. And in the north, a lot of those kicked off, some of those kicked off actually at 7 o'clock, so or earlier today. Hartlepool and Wrexham, I think, have just got set off in the second half, so some odd timings, aren't there, nowadays in the evening kickoffs. In the National League North, it's Telford 0, Chorley 0, Brackley 0, Kidderminster 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0, Southport 0, Curzon Ashton 0, AFC Fylde 0, Guiseley 0, Darlington 0, Hereford 0, Gloucester 1, Leamington 0, Alfreton 2. So not too many goals in the opening stages of this evening's games. And players up on his feet that was injured.
No, I think he's going off. There's a substitution about to happen. I'm still struggling to see who it was. The referee's told the benches that there's a substitution happening. So we'll just wait and see. I think it's the left back, Michael Liddell, who's making way. It looks like an injury to his right leg, I think, but he won't be able to continue.
So Liddell is off. And it's a replacement defender who comes on. So Liddell played 5 times for the Republic of Ireland's under-21 side, so very experienced player making way. But David Atkinson, equally 27 years old, joined from Blyth, but he's got international experience of his own. He's played for IBV in Iceland, as well I was reading just beforehand. So a defensive swap had to be made by Darlington as Liddell goes off with a injury. Happily not too severe as he's able to walk off the field, but hope all is well for him. Guiseley, meanwhile, try to press the ball back into the Darlington half. The ball hooved clear, and it's a long one. There's a bit of a reach for it. I think it was Maguire who hit it at the back of his head, and then as it goes back into the Darlington half, there's a flag up against Matty Gillam, so it'll be a free kick to the visitors.
Very nearly a defence-splitting pass, that one, but just couldn't hold his run.
And another player just goes to his haunches. Ash Proctor's just waiting to see if he needs to attend to Jonathan Wafula. But he's decided he's fine. Helen Thompson just says, this ref is always card happy, likes the sound of his whistle. He said that about 20 minutes ago. I think he's well in there with his opinion on the official today.
Yeah.
And there was another one, a new one on me. Wellington Sports Radio saying, come on, Guiseley. I wonder if that's Wellington as in New Zealand Wellington. That would be unusual. Guiseley get the game back underway now. The throw goes upfield, but the Lions can't keep possession. And yeah, It's a throw, which Darlington will take in right back position and play it long up towards Maguire. Headed on. Maguire collects it from the header from Brad Nicholson. Looks like he was fouled, but the referee's playing on, and Campbell has it now on the edge of the area. On the edge of the area is Will Hatfield, who collects the ball from Campbell. Can't get a shot away, but Gillam does really well. Has got the advantage. Then he's knocked the ball out of play, and the players are surrounding the referee. Not quite sure. I think he's knocked the ball out of play because Wafula's gone down again, but I thought there was a counter-attack on, and I'm not sure what... There's two sets of players dissatisfied with what happened there. Looked like there was an advantage. It wasn't played against a foul that was on Maguire. And then I think Matty Gillam feels, or the Guiseley players felt that Matty Gillam should have had a free kick and the game stopped to allow for Jonathan Wafula to get some treatment. But all in all, not very satisfactory.
Was Joseph Wheatley booked there as well, I think?
I'm not sure, but we could well be seeing another swap here. I didn't see that actually, Nick. That was Wheatley get booked in that. Must have only been for something he said.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he definitely called Wheatley over, and he definitely held his hand up in the air. I couldn't see whether his card was still in it or not at that point.
It's another change. Likes to be in the offing here. Fuller's down. Looks like he's going to need some treatment.
Yeah, and having started at a great tempo this game, we've just lost nearly, 5, maybe 8, 10 minutes to a couple of injuries and stoppages, and
I think
doesn't feel like we're making much progress into this game now.
So Jack Ryan, another one back with us, who we haven't mentioned for a while. He's going to come on for Jonathan Wafula, who was he's been unfortunate, hasn't he, Wafula? He did pull his hamstring, I think, or he had some sort of leg muscle injury in pre-season. We're waiting to get him back, and now he's seems to have been unfortunately plagued by the same problem again this evening. Ryan on his place, he comes to get the ball. The ball is cleared ahead of him, and it's back to Hamza Ben Sharif, who goes back to Brad Wade, but he's still pressed by Maguire. Wade does well to clear it with his left boot up towards the halfway line, and there's a foul committed by Gillam on McMahon. That'll be a free kick to Darlington on the halfway line.
It's a little bit of insight into what Russ O'Neill and Marcus Bignut think about the players they've got, because Kean Harrott was starting when he came in on loan, and he's not even the next choice now to come on in this game when we're already using players who had been substitutes before. And instead it's Jack Ryan who's been playing elsewhere, I think, hasn't he, in the meantime, since we last saw him with us.
Guys, he just conceded a corner. There was a well-worked ball down the right-hand side. Challenge came in. This is a chance now for Darlington to get players into the box. There's only one left back on the halfway line. This one whips in, but over everybody's head, and a chance here for Ekpolo to close down, but can't clear the block in the end made by Ryan. But the ball out of play, and now another throw that once again gives a chance, and then there's a challenge in the box. I think Wheatley, he takes the faintest and knocks, it seems, in the area, and the referee has pointed to the spot. But I don't know, I wasn't completely clean-sighted between the players. You saw, I think it was, or maybe even Campbell, who went across the face of goal. There was a foot out, player tumbles, referee points to the spot, and it's the opportunity now for the visitors to take the lead.
Well, once again, I'll withhold my opinion on the decision until I've had a chance to see it properly. All of you watching us on YouTube can skip back 30 seconds and then hop over into the Mixlr chat room and tell us the right decision. But it does feel like we've sleepwalked from a game that we were doing pretty well in, but with the injuries and whatever, suddenly now we're about to face this penalty. We've lost all initiative.
So an opportunity for the visitors to take the lead here. 26 minutes gone. Penalty that's going to be taken by Adam Campbell. And Brad Wade holds his arms aside and takes it, and he blasts it, and it hits Brad Wade's legs, but he can't prevent it from going in the goal. And Guiseley trail. A penalty, 26 minutes gone from Adam Campbell, who won the penalty and has put it away. And Guiseley trail, Guiseley 0, Darlington 1.
Well, the game threatened to be very lively and exciting, and from a Lions point of view, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, it's turned a little bit disappointing. I think Guiseley weren't quite on it from the restart after those two injury treatment periods, and however that penalty came about, we now find ourselves a goal behind, and just over halfway through the first half, need to start again with this new front line of Gillam and Ryan, and we need to find some more energy and start making some opportunities and putting Darlington under some pressure again.
The ball forward from Darlington as Guiseley again have to watch out for the counter-attack as we commit players forward for the moment. It's played down the left-hand channel and it's rolled out of play. It will be a throw-in for the visitors in right-back position. Andy P saying that's a really soft penalty, having watched it back.
That was both your instinct and mine, wasn't it? But we are just being a little bit cautious because all of you have the benefit of replays. But it didn't look like much of anything, but you know, the referees booked 2 or 3 of their players for not much of anything. So I guess we're all going to have to take what we get given by the referee this evening.
So the progress from that right-back position throw isn't very far. It's played out, but looks out of play by the Lions as we win it back. Goes back to the goalkeeper. And Minter plays a long ball up with his left foot. It rolls out of play actually for a throw for Cowan to take. The Academy unfortunately trailing 4-0 now in their game in the FA Youth Cup second round proper. Done a really brilliant job to get that far. Unfortunately, just couldn't quite break the way through to the third round proper. Or a possible home tie to Sunderland had awaited, but all credit to the young Lions for what they've achieved. That half time, we hope to revisit that Academy game against Bolton. Ball down the right hand side has rolled out of play as Darlington press the Lions once more, but it's a goal kick. It's played across here to Hamza Ben Sharif as he thumps the ball upfield, way beyond Jack Ryan, and all the way through to the goalkeeper.
It's not clear what Guiseley are actually trying to do now. I think they've been flustered a lot by the high press by Darlington so far. The defenders and deeper line midfielders, Becker and Polo, they haven't had much time on the ball at all to pick out passes, and so we found ourselves going back to the defenders and then just playing a long ball to no one in particular. And so far that hasn't been particularly fruitful. And you know, we've got a couple of players. You know, we've got Cantrell over on the opposite side to where we've seen him, and Johnson as well. Neither of them, you would say, have had a great deal of involvement going forward either. So it might be a case of trying to figure out what Guiseley are actually trying to do here.
At the moment, Lions have the ball, but not really making much headway into the Darlington final third. A speculative ball forward was lost and gave a chance for the counter-attack to build. Hamza Ben Sharif has to step across as Maguire once again looked like he was going to create an angle for himself. Maguire has forced Ben Sharif into conceding the corner on the right-hand side.
And Darlington obviously not packing the box because they don't have a lot of height, but they've got a lot of late runners arriving in, as you can see now.
Ball into that 6-yard box, and it goes through a real cluster of players, picked up by Campbell on this right-hand side. He drills it in towards the goal, headed away by Gillam. There's a challenge by Howarth, which will result in a free kick to Darlington. 2 players going for the ball. It just collided full front with each other. Both are down. Might just need a moment's breather, maybe some treatment. Howarth looks to be up and ready to be spoken to, and perhaps add his name to the referee's book this evening. It was a fairly, it was a fraction late, wasn't he? He was a little late, Howarth. Again, not particularly, not much of a yellow card challenge, to be perfectly honest. It's just momentum, yes, as the two came together, but...
unless he's going to book them both. It looked like a 50-50 ball to me. But he's not going to book them both because one of them was hurt more badly than the other, and we know how this works. But it's oh dear, yeah.
It's going to be a long evening.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long evening. We're only half an hour into this.
McMahon stood over this one now for Darlington. He's also got Joseph Wheatley. Referee just getting a three-man wall back. It looks like the shot could be on here. McMahon, of course, plays for Bradford City. He's going to line this one up, drills it in with his right foot. It's full into the wall. The follow-up from Wheatley over the bar and into the netting behind. And in the end, it's a goal kick for Guiseley, but it was a firm drive from McMahon. Somebody took that one full in the midriff and managed to stand up to it, thankfully.
No, thank you.
Matty Keys just on the Mixlr chat room just saying, can I get a shout out for my uncle Pat Keys? He's a massive fan. He's heartbroken he can't be there tonight. Good evening, Pat. It's great if you're watching us along this evening. Delighted to have you with us. It's not the same without folk like yourselves in the ground. Two sets of fans urging each other on. That's what we miss. They would be happier from a Darlington perspective as well this evening because they lead by a 1-0. Penalty from Adam Campbell in 26 minutes. Free kick now to Darlington inside their own half. Sent long by the substitute. It was a really good ball out to the right-hand side. Taken down, cross into the box. Guys who don't deal with it well. Eventually Cowan gets a head underneath it, but only towards the edge of the 18-yard box, where again it's nodded back into the Lions area. Guys are clear. Gillen with pressure, can't get out of his own half. Finds the ball forward, but it just escapes Howarth, who almost looked tantalisingly close to receiving the ball. And then goes back into the Guiseley penalty area now as Darlington get away here. Campbell with a chance to make it too, but a good save down at his near post from Brad Wade. Campbell was at a difficult angle. He struck it first time with his left foot towards the near post. Brad Wade made sure he had a foot stuck out to put that one behind for a corner. Still 1-0 to Darlington.
Yeah, and Darlington are well on top, aren't they? You know, they're not giving Guiseley any time on the ball whatsoever, chasing them back into their own half, into their own penalty area, and then making chances like that. Guiseley were at 6s and 7s, should have buried it.
Guiseley second best in this first 35. Corner comes in. It's not quite headed away. There's a foul given against Darlington on the edge of the 6-yard box. Free kick to Guiseley.
You know, you can see it unfolding, can't you, where the players have all been pulled over to one side of the pitch to try and cover a gap that's been created, and then there's someone over on the other side, and there's no way with the defence being stretched that they'll be able to get back to cover it. And we're just fortunate that Brad Wade was able to make that save with his ankles at his near post there. But you know, you watch it happening and you have that sense of like, well, I know the defenders cannot get back. So if the striker buries this, then you know there won't be anything else we can say about it.
Sousa just comes in and makes a challenge on that far side that had the Lions shouting. The referee made a very clear signal that he'd won the ball and it was out for a throw.
I suppose if it was us in the ascendancy like this, though, I'd be saying, well, we better get a second goal. Yeah. We better have something to show for all of this domination, because it won't carry on for the whole game. And you know, maybe it won't. Maybe guys are going to get going and turn up the tempo a little bit later on. But for the time being, they're just getting so little time on the ball. They're flustered in their decision making, and when they're defending, they're just trying to urgently cover gaps, and they're not really holding their shape because they're not able to. They've already been pulled open.
Well, RC Line and Line Club just pointing out scrappy. We're all over the place. Not too happy home fans. Peter Guiseley has well also had a view on the penalty. It wasn't favourable. And Guiseley at the moment just unable to win the ball back. Sosa has got it. He's running across the midfield. Eventually there's a free kick given because Cantrell just pulled down by the Armour Sousa. Free kick's taken into Gabriel Johnson. He's running with it down that right-hand side, gives it to Ekpolo. Ekpolo cuts in field, looks for the pass, finds Gillum on his run. He just takes a slightly heavy touch first time round, gives us chance for the centre half to clear. But guys, you do get a throw. Brad Nicholson territory perhaps on this right-hand side, about level with the edge of the 18-yard box. Guys, you get the players forward. And Becker, Ben Sharif. Jack Ryan's in there now. Nicholson back to the hoardings. Going to aim this one perhaps for the near post here. Goes up towards that territory. It's flicked on. There's a challenge that comes in just as Gillum was trying to get the shot away. Maybe just puts him up because he fires the ball wide behind for a goal kick. Just want to acknowledge, thank you very much, Foz Quaker, 1507. Darlow fan in peace. He says, best of luck and thanks for putting the game out for free. We'll stick a £5 into your crowdfund appeal. Thank you very much. That's really appreciated. And you're more than welcome to join us tonight. Look forward to welcoming you back in future, hopefully, when this is all over and we can get all the fans back into the ground. Don't forget, if you want to help us, we'll be very grateful. We've got to cover the costs of this broadcast. We're determined to try and keep it free, to be as inclusive as we can. And if you can make a contribution, you can go through the YouTube feed. You'll see the link. That would be fantastic. Now Darlington on the attack once again. Guiseley just making enough of a clearance on the edge of the 18-yard box through Dan Cowan to get the ball up to the Darlington half. Ryan holds off his marker and earns the throw in doing so on this right-hand side. And Becker collects now. Nice bit of interplay there between Gabriel Johnson and Ekpolo, but Ekpolo just couldn't take the ball in his stride without losing the flight of it. Managed to recover the second phase though. Second phase that works out to the left-hand side. And Cantrell trying to cross. Ball into the box. Nodded on by Johnson. Ekpolo tries to win it. Doing so pushes Omar Holness over. And it's a free kick to Darlington on the edge of the D.
It's funny how trends in how the players wear their kits come and go. A couple of years ago, it had been donkey's years since I'd seen a player with their socks down round by their ankles, and now you know what? Jack Grealish is back in the Premier League, and a third of our team look like they can't dress themselves properly. Both of our strikers, and obviously George Cantrell over there on the left tonight.
1982. That's for me. That's when their socks are down their ankles. No shin pads. Darlington have it. They've got into the box here. The ball's forward and there's a real chance here for Sosa. It's blocked. The referee waves away, appeals for a penalty. The ball's still scrambled on the edge of the 6-yard box. Can't get the ball away. Goes out here to Campbell. Campbell swipes at it with his right foot inside the 6-yard box. Doesn't connect with it cleanly. The Lions get away with it once again because the ball goes behind, out for a goal kick. But really, you have to say, it might be 1-0. It could be more than that right now.
Well, I make that it should probably be 3-0 to Darlington now. And same position as last time, and again, Campbell should have buried it.
Line struggling here. Brad Wade now just kicks the ball out towards Cowan. Need half-time to come and get ourselves reorganised. Jordan Watson with the throw for the visitors. In short here to Holness. Sousa will probably rue that shot he also had in the build-up in that opportunity that Darlington had. The ball is cleared for Guiseley. They get it into Johnson on the halfway line. Gabriel Johnson, he's got Howarth to his left, gives it to Howarth. Howarth's got Cantrell on the overlap. Plays it into Cantrell, but Cantrell is going to be closed down by Sousa. Back here to Becker. He loses his footing, and then Ben Sharif, perhaps a little rusty, just loses the ball under his feet. Ben Sharif goes up towards Gabriel Johnson, who tries to spin off the defender, David Atkinson. He did so, but there was somebody sweeping up to boot the ball out for a Guiseley throw. Cowan will take this one midway through the Darlington half, but the visitors collect it once again. Campbell charging forward into the middle of the Guiseley half before playing a reverse pass that's blocked. But again, Guiseley lose second phase here. And again, it's the visitors who come away with it. Down this left-hand side, Wheatley up against Dan Cowan and Gabriel Johnson. Splits the two of them, goes in field. Cowan's chasing back now. The ball back in here. Wheatley will get it, blasts it, saved by the goalkeeper. Second phase, chance now for a second, and it's cleared off the line incredibly. The Lions managed to clear it. The flag goes up. Is he given the goal? The flag goes up. Has he given a free kick? The referee is going across. Darlington think they've scored. They think that the ball wasn't cleared off the line. They're celebrating. Impossible to see here, but I think the goal has been given. I think that's what the flag went up by the assistant on that far side. And if so, I don't know who scored the second goal, but it certainly looks like it. It looks like Guiseley have now conceded that second that we felt was coming. It looked at first as if it had been cleared off the line. The linesman on that far side put his flag up, and in the end, Guiseley have been unable to block that close-range effort, which I thought was from McMahon. But it, in the end, means the same thing. Guiseley have conceded the second just before the break. Guiseley 0, Darlington 2.
Well, it's nothing less than the visitors deserve, in absolute truth. It was difficult to tell from this angle. It did look deep into the goal, didn't it? It was on the line, but I wouldn't have been able to say with confidence it hadn't gone over the line. And they had a couple of opportunities at close range to get a second goal, and frankly, they deserve to be 2-0 up. They've been really, really good for most of this first half. The work rate, the movement and the mobility and the understanding of where the runs are going. All of that started with a simple little pass from Will Hatfield to, I forget which player it was, coming out on the left. But it was a simple little ball. He knew that a player was coming around the outside of him and he was going to go at speed. He put it in the right place, and suddenly he was away with only a couple of white-shirted players left to worry about. And all of that then goes and leads into that goalmouth scramble. And guys, they haven't had that. They haven't had a good understanding of where runners are going to go and so where to play a ball to. It's all been a little bit sort of seat of pants, really.
Still not finishing yet, because Darlington are still determined to count on this opportunity they're being gifted. They've got the ball into the box once again. The Lions not defending stoutly. Good clearance eventually comes in from Mbeka, a blocking challenge. But at the moment, Guiseley are by far second best, and plenty of you making that exact comment on the Mixlr chat room. Corner from this left-hand side as we look like we're going to have a couple of minutes of stoppage time.
5.
Ball whipped into the box. 5 minutes.
Well, we did have two decent stoppages earlier in the half, mostly for the Darlington defender Little before he went off.
Yeah. 5 minutes of stoppages, so we've got 5 more minutes before the management team can get the Chargers back in and train.
We don't want 5 minutes, do we? We'd have been much happier with 2.
Get them back in and reorganised. Corner comes in again from this right-hand side into the box, headed over the bar by a lunging Hamza Ben Sharif. And so it's another corner to Darlington.
Well, it would be pretty decisive if Darlington could get the third now just before the break, wouldn't it? It'd be a very long way back.
Well, it's been one-way traffic, to be fair, for a large spell of this first half, and Darlington again on the attack with a corner into the box. The ball lands around the edge of the 6-yard box, not cleared. Campbell collects, plays it out to the edge of the area where Holness has a chance to work his way through a couple of defenders. Plays it out to the left-hand side. Campbell keeps it in play. Holness gets it back again. Holness going down to the byline, trying to cross. Takes a deflection. It'll be another corner to Darlington left-hand side. 2-0 down deep into stoppage time now.
Yeah, it was Prince Polo there, just out in the sort of right-back position for Guiseley, fighting off 2 or 3 green-shirted players. And that time, the best he could do was concede the corner.
Corner from this left-hand side. There are 4 green shirts in the box to aim for. Goes out towards the edge of the 18-yard box where it looked like Joseph Wheatley was lining up to try and hit it on the volley. The ball fell slightly short of that. It was cleared by Guiseley. Then a rather ambitious ball back in towards the left-hand side. Thankfully, was overhit and has gone out of play for a throw to Guiseley in right-back position. Guiseley 0, Darlington 2.
I don't suppose we'll know until we've seen the second half how much of this is how good Darlington have been and how much is the sort of lack of organisation and game plan that we've had in this first half. We'll see what the managers can come up with at half-time. At the moment, I have to say, it's a really impressive-looking performance from Darlington.
Now guys, get it up to the halfway line. Ryan goes chasing. 2 players collide. Big shouts from both sets of players, rather. Fans.
It's the closest we get, isn't it? The noise on the pitch is all that's here. Apart from Dave grumbling away to our right intermittently.
Sousa picks up the ball now in the middle of the park. Blocking challenge comes in from Becker, who's at least been in the heart of stopping some of this forward momentum. Polo chasing down Campbell. Back to the corner flag. The ball in from Campbell ricochets back off. Polo will be a throw. Taken quickly. Wheatley into the box. Sousa trying a bit of trickery. Doesn't get past Becker. And Johnson eventually clears, but there's no outlet for him. So Darlington win the ball back and send it down the right-hand channel. And Brad Wade at least has time to come out here and collect and return it into the 18-yard box. And guys, it can build up from the back. Maybe a chance just to ask a question before the break. That would be good. Howarth tries to work his way down the left-hand side, but nothing on it. And in the end, a foul is given after Matty Gillam. He's judged to have tripped his man. Not too much longer now. Lou Malk just saying, as a Darlow fan, we've been very poor in the league this season. I think you're making us look good.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't know how much of is to which side. We've obviously not been very good in this first half, and we haven't seen Darlington play other than this 45 minutes that we've just watched unfold in front of us. On this basis, you'd say Darlington are a really energetic, hard-working team with a good understanding in possession of what they're trying to do. But if you're saying it's that Guiseley are hopelessly panicked every time you press them when they're in possession, I could believe that as well.
Well, the whistle goes. That's been a disappointing first 45 minutes for Guiseley. Held out until the 26th minute, and Campbell seemed to get rather a tame penalty given his way. Buried it just after it came back off.
the teams are in this evening. And I'll start with our hosts, Bolton Wanderers. They line up as follows: Luke Hutchinson in goal. Number 2, Matthew Tweedley. Number 3, Nathan Wally. Number 4, Ryan Colvin. Number 5, Lamina Torre. Number 6, Aaron Pettifer. Number 7, Mitchell Henry. Number 8, Ingan Riley. Number 9, Bright Amoateng. 10, Finlay Lockett. And 11, Kian Lafondra, who may or may not be related to Adam, we don't know. 13, Ellis Litherland. 12, Jack Thompson. 14, Jay Fitzmartin. 15, Joe Brown. And 16, Max Conway are the substitutes this evening. For the Lions, line up as follows: Haji Damba is in goal. Number 2, Josh Calvert. Number 4, Oliver Brown. Number 6, Chukwudulu Molokwu. Number 7, Haroon Boston. Number 8, made his first team debut last night, starts tonight, Lewis Hay. Number 9, Darwin King, got the third against Halifax. Number 10, Jake Charles. Number 11, Janai Trout. Number 20, Harrison Lee. And number 22, Oliver Reap. On the bench for the Lions, Harry Culver, Oliver Metcalf, Tom Caldecott, Dexter Ball, Fola Fackenkem, and Ethan Hudson-Parker and Harry Rayner.
Bolton now on the attack here. The ball moved out to the left-hand side. Regan Riley has it. He's held up by Haroon Bostan. But the ball is floated into the box towards the head of the number 9, Amoateng, who's nodded the ball down towards goal. Damba down to his left-hand side, scurrying across there, getting a palm on it. So this is a good opportunity again for Guiseley perhaps to get some big men forward here.
Got to be a good ball into the box. Looks like Lewis Hayes going to deliver it. A lot of yellow shirts on the edge of the box.
Right arm up in the air, plays the ball in with his left foot, up towards the back post. Oh, there was a chance there. There was a chance there. Harrison Lee had crafted out a bit of space. So this is going to be Hay who is going to take, I count, 4, 5, 6, 7 Guiseley players up there. Molokwu's at the back post. In there too, Harrison Lee. Ball floats in up towards the back post where Harrison Lee's looking to get on the end of it, but really well claimed there by Luke Hutchinson, who immediately wants to launch an attack. Bounces up, Calvert gets underneath it. Now the counter-attack is really going to pay grounds if Tweedley could have got his return ball, but out was Demba to save at his feet and sends the ball upfield now. And again, the counter-attack on the other end is on. And the game a little bit more stretched here as the ball goes back to Hutchinson, chased down by King. Up is Trout to try and win possession back for Guiseley. He earns the Lions a throw with some really good endeavour down that left-hand side as Bolton were trying to work their way out of the field. The Lions coming a little bit more into it here. Still 0-0, almost 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, very positive from the academy there. Very positive. To give possession away and then win it back and break as quickly as they did.
Well, the ball here with Harrison Lee on the halfway line. Steps the ball across to the left-hand side. Headed on by Trout into the area. King's up there. Ooh. Flags up. King stretched to try and get it with the goalkeeper. Penalty has been given, but it'll be ruled out because I think the flag was already up. And the referee has spotted that. And I've just seen on that far side that after King was caught by Hutchinson, King was in an offside position originally. And the referee initially pointed to the spot and got our hopes up. But Bolton have held firm under a bit of pressure here. Now trying to work it out from the back and reassert some of that early dominance that they were having. But in the last sort of 5 minutes or so, Guiseley have fought back into the game. Bolton now on the ball. Play out to the right-hand side. Slide from Trout doesn't get all the way through, and Lafondra has a chance to run. Infield here to Lockett. Lockett goes down to ground, complains. Referee's not interested. Guiseley give the ball away rather tamely. Hay just on the other wavelength from where the pass went, and Bolton move it down this right-hand side with to get the cross in. He's making his way down that flank. It might have gone out. No,
it did look like
the
it went out.
assistant says no. It's in the penalty area. Chance here and a goal, and a goal from Amoateng. Amoateng has twisted, turned in the penalty area after the cross from the right-hand side from Tweedley. But Amoateng, after 23 minutes, gives Bolton Wanderers the lead here in this FA Youth Cup first round proper inside, where Tweedley controls, plays it back here to Lockett. Lockett in field now, and Pettifer. He's got a bit of space on the edge of the 18-yard box to get a shot away if he wants to. Dinks the ball into the box, finds a Moateng. It's beautifully played, and then somehow Haji Damba denies him from close range as he looked to dink the ball down to Damba's left. Damba anticipated it, gets a hand on it, and puts it behind.
They've pushed Guiseley a little bit back into their own half after quite a bright start, but they've not tested us.
Now Lewis Hayes done ever so well to win the ball in midfield, plays it out to the left-hand side. It's with Boston. Can he get the ball into the box? King's in there, goes up towards the back post, King hits it, it's out to the other side, and it's blocked before Hay can get the ball in on goal by Toure. But that was a beautiful ball delivered in there from Boston. And on the halfway line, it's played in field. Brown collects, chests it down. Still can't get any space, so plays a great crossfield ball out here to Hudson Parker, who takes it down. He's got a man in attention, he needs to get the cross in. He actually goes short, and the foul is won well by Lewis Hay, who stood in the right place to invite the challenge, and has indeed won Guiseley a free kick a few yards to the right-hand side of the D in a really dangerous position, this.
Offered himself to the Bolton defender, and the Bolton defender clattered into him. It's a foul.
Yeah, it's good play.
It's good awareness from Lewis Hay. Great awareness.
Referee just going to get the wall back. There's a three-man wall building up here. The goalkeeper, Luke Hutchinson, in bright luminous green. Just checking the angle. There's perhaps a fourth that will be added. Hay stands over this one. He will take this with his left foot. He shoots it towards goal. The goalkeeper palms it over. It was right underneath it, to be fair. But Luke Hutchinson did not want to take any chances with that delivery from Luke. Opts for a little back heel and finds Jake Charles. Charles tries to run through too many players, doesn't play it out. And in the end, Guiseley lose possession, and a really good ball forward here. Chance on for this winning goal. Throws himself to the ground as Mitchell Henry, as he raced away from the back line. Guiseley clear. Henry just charged to the ground. He's claiming the penalty, but I have to say,
none of his teammates are backing him up on this one, mate.
Riley now on the ball, plays it square here. Pettifer has plenty of room to move forward for Bolton, plays the ball into the area. This is a chance for Henry. This time he can get the shot away. This time he's just overhit it. It's gone over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Malakwa working hard from the back, plays it down that left-hand side. He was fouled, but the advantage was given. Chase on here for Charles. Charles will chase it. There's a chance here for the substitute to come on now. It's picked up here by Hay. He takes a shot. The ref can't stop it. Oh, my goodness. A mix-up from Bolton, and right at the very end, Lewis Hay has hit the ball from about 25 yards out. The goalkeeper slid. The defender tried to slide and stop it on the line, but he couldn't. And Lewis Hay has grabbed an unlikely and dramatic equaliser here at Bolton. It's Bolton 1, Guiseley 1. Wow! Still no sign of a whistle.
He's not even checked his watch.
Up goes Haji Damba to collect the ball.
Well done, Haji.
Big shout for a penalty, a rather optimistic one. A counter-attack was on there for Guiseley, but the final whistle goes and it's finished.
And I saw Jake Charles and Haroon Boston a little bit lost.
It can't be bridged with pace, can it? Because
this is gone. It's gone.
Oh, now there's a chance here for Bolton into the penalty area. Good challenge comes in from Malakwa, and Haji Damba comes and collects. As to Tweedley just got through there. It was Reap who's back down on the ground with cramp originally. So Haji Damba will start with the throw. He plays it upfield. No, it bounces awkwardly and gives a chance here for Ethan Hudson Parker. He's got it on the edge of the area. He takes a shot. Oh my goodness, what a goal! Ethan Hudson Parker on the counter-attack. The ball was played forward from Haji Damba, nodded on. Ethan Hudson Parker took it down. He struck it so sweetly with his left foot. And would you believe it, the Lions have turned this one round. They are 2-1 up. Ethan Hudson-Park at the substitute fires the ball into the left-hand side. Those players are going wild down there.
Wow, what a brilliant effort. Lovely long ball down from Haji Damba. You got to feel for the Bolton defender who doesn't get the header at all right and just plays Ethan Hudson-Park. But Ethan Hudson-Park has a lot to do to hold off the defender and finish it. Just whacks it left-footed, top corner, keeper, no chance. 2-1, come on you Lions.
Some very heavy legs out there as Bolton step forward and move into the Lions half once again. Haroon Bostan, a little bit of a timid challenge on that occasion. It allows Bolton to keep the ball moving. It's curled in. It's taken a deflection.
Ooh.
Difficult one for Haji Damba. He lets that come into his chest. The ball's with Hutchinson inside the Bolton half. The goalkeeper sends it long. They're going to chase everything now, the home side, as they look to get back in here. Toure, a makeshift centre forward. He's gone past the defender. There's a shout for a foul, but it's not given. Toure steering into the box. He's run it out of play. He's run it out of play, thankfully. Ran out of room as he was beating two players. He just couldn't keep that ball in play. Go to Colvin. They need to get it forward to Bolton.
Checked his watch.
And the referee's checking his watch again, and he blows the whistle. Oh, you can probably hear, there's no crowd here, but you can probably hear the roar of appreciation from the substitutes, the Guiseley coaches, the academy staff who have come here to Bolton and have produced a tremendous smash and grab cup win in the FA Youth Cup first round proper. Bolton 1, Guiseley 2. Refreshed and ready for a second 45 minutes in which the Lions make a remarkable comeback to win 3-2 despite being 2 goals down at the break. We've seen that one before, haven't we? Why can't we see it again in this second 45 minutes? Possibly that first 45 minutes at Chorley that we're referring to was a little bit better from a Guiseley perspective than that 45 minutes there, but not much. Guiseley have certainly been second best in that first half. Brilliant performance from our academy in those highlights that we've just been able to share with you to get through to the second round proper of the FA Youth Cup. But unfortunately, they've fallen short tonight, being beaten 4-0 in Cambridge. We're going to have a change, and perhaps not surprisingly, the Lions are going to try and roll the dice, change things around. I'm sure that Marcus Bignott and Russ O'Neill have had plenty to say at the break, Nick, and they've got plenty of thinking and changes to try to apply to the second 45.
Well, how much has the world changed in the hour since we started this broadcast? It was a lovely, mild evening, and we had everything to look forward to, and now we're 2-0 down, playing poorly. It's blowing an Arctic gale around Nethermoor, and we're making our second substitution of the game already at the start of the second half.
So it's Matt Gillam coming off, and Cian Harrett, who played in that game against FC United as his debut. And again, of course, Boston was the match after that. So this is his Nethermoor home debut, extended his loan deal until January, and hoping he can make an impact on this game. Gillam replaced after 45 minutes in which the Lions have really struggled. Guys who get the ball and get the game, well, the second half back underway. Ball out though after Ekpola closes down and concedes a throw. The Lions with a lot to do in this second period. No changes for Darlington, as you would expect. They've already been forced into one switch in the first half as Michael Liddell went down injured. Perhaps a little bit more of an omen as Melvin Minter skews his ball and his clearance, and the ball goes out into touch for a throw. There's another player down here, Nick. I'm not quite sure who went down on the far side, but Guiseley have got to wait a couple of moments here. Some more attention is being dished out. I think it's Omar Holness who's down.
Yeah, I think so, and I didn't see what led to him to going down either. And immediately there's a the flickering lights of a substitutions board being prepared in the Darlington dugout, and they're not expecting Holness to continue. So that's both teams having made 2 substitutions. Darlington's both enforced by injury. That's unusual to see, isn't it, so soon in a game? And perhaps a measure of this unusual season and how difficult it's been for players to manage their fitness in this sort of starts and stops of training and playing that they've had. Two innocuous-looking injuries, not from challenges in the first 47 minutes of the game, is pretty rare, isn't it?
Certainly seems to be the way of things at the moment. Premier League have been struggling equally at that level with keeping players fit. Guiseley now get the ball back underway. The substitute, mind, doesn't make things any easier for us. Omar Holness makes way, a Jamaican under-23 international. I think he's played at all levels up to 23. He is replaced by Jarrett Rivers, who, of course, is a very impressive player who, of course, has some problems in the past with Blythe Spartans as well. Guiseley now on the ball in the halfway line, hoping there might be a bedding in time with a new substitute that disrupts things. Will Hatfield still doing his thing, scurrying around, clearing the ball as the Lions put it in towards the final third. And this wind has certainly built up as well since the break. Not quite sure who gets the advantage from our position here. At the moment, the advantage is with Darlington, and Sousa's making a run down this right-hand side, trying to get past Brad Nicholson, plays it into the box. The ball's put into the back of the net, and Guiseley, no sooner do they get started in the second half, they've managed to start it in the way that they finished the first, and have conceded a goal. It's now Darlington who lead here at Nethermoor by 3-0.
Well, that was a soft goal to concede. Still not clear who had the final touch on it.
Daniel Maguire.
And he was there with Dan Cowan at the far post as the ball came across the area, and just goal gaping at his mercy. But then, you know, it's very difficult to know what to say from a Guiseley point of view. They've gone in, they've had their half-time, they've made another change. You know, Matty Gillam's had his first start, you know, and he's been hauled off at half-time. Tough for him. Bring on another young striker, switch, we haven't even had a chance to say, switch the wing-backs. Gabriel Johnson and George Cantrell back to the correct sides of the pitch, which they weren't in the first half. Johnson back to the left and Cantrell to the right, presumably having noticed that the way that Dan Cowan was being dragged out to cover at right back, with Johnson not so defensive-minded, so going back to the way they would normally have it. Done all of that work, given all of those instructions, sent the players out, and within a couple of minutes they've conceded that third and most likely decisive goal.
Now the ball's on the right-hand side and crossed into the box by the substitute Rivers as he scramble it away. And it's up towards Ekpolo, who has few options, so goes back to Cantrell. Thumped forward by George Cantrell. Chested down by Jack Ryan. But Guiseley concede possession. Ekpolo does well to win it back now with Howarth. Howarth plays out to the left-hand side. Johnson's made a bit of space open to himself up there. Crosses into the box. Cleared away by Hatfield. Counter-attack could be on here with Rivers. Just laying the ball into the right-hand channel, where McMahon punts it forward. Stabbed away by Cowan. And then a loose touch there from Brad Nicholson. Comes a benchery for Nicholson on 2 different wavelengths. As the ball goes back in field. Rivers gets a touch, and then a bit of a mix-up in the penalty area. Brad Wade, in the end, collects the ball from Rivers, who had no right to be where he was. But the Lions just got their wires completely crossed. And Guiseley, in the end, thankfully, don't concede a fourth.
Well, it was another difficult-looking bit of passing at the back from Brad Nicholson, who's had a pretty tough evening, to be honest, so far. To be fair, as has Hamza, and you know, Dan Cowan has been relatively tidy by comparison, but there's no standout performers either so far. Dear. But yeah, I mean, it was a straight foot race between Brad Wade and the striker there, and it could have ended anyway. It could have ended with a goal, could have ended with a penalty and a red card, and just lucky that the Guiseley keeper got there first, really.
Ball goes down the right-hand side. Guiseley work it into the box, but it ricochets back off Cian Harrett and out for a goal kick after a challenge comes in on him. Forces Melvin Minter to go over the hoardings to recover it. Andy P's keeping me amused on the Mixlr chat room. He says the ref looks like a tall and young Andy Murray. That's an eye for detail you've got to appreciate.
That's a good shout, is that? And sorry, you haven't given him his full title there. Lions local hero, Andy P.
Oh yes, Lions local hero Andy P. We are doffing our cap to you. And his optimism is abound. This is going to be better than Chorley. Depends which Chorley trip you're talking about, I suppose. Rivers on the ball now for Darlington, trying to go past, and a good challenge comes in from Mbeka. Just gets the ball away from him. Howarth now to Ekpolo. Polo comes over the halfway line, but is well watched by Hatfield, who is straight to ground as soon as he feels Ekpolo's challenge to recover the ball from him, and gets the free kick in turn. Poland being spoken to, but Hatfield has done what he needed to do, and at the free kick, Guiseley trailing 3-0. And it's been a pretty tough evening, hasn't it? Pretty tough watch.
Is it possible to have a player be your bogey team? Because if so, Will Hatfield is our bogey team, isn't he?
It's most players who come back to play against us, who've played for us. They turn into giants.
Oh, I mean, in this Darlington team, Will Hatfield is nearly a giant.
Is that the slender claim you're clinging to?
He's like the third tallest player in their team.
Yeah. I don't care what height they are.
No, and nor do they.
There's another player down at the moment. Not quite sure what happened there. And then the ball's hoofed the other end of the field. Not sure who is down. There was a collision. Harrett is back to have a word in his ear, whoever it is. I think it's Wheatley. Is it Wheatley?
Yeah. He's been in the wars in and amongst it the whole way through the game, hasn't he? He's there in every 50-50 challenge, and he's not afraid to put himself in harm's way.
Now, did the referee give a free kick, or did he just decide it's a drop ball? I think it's a drop ball, isn't it? It was just a decision that if you have a player down, we'll stop it. Sort of game management that obviously is effective. Howarth out to the left-hand side. Up here to... Howarth now's got the ball back as he is dispossessed by Hatfield. Polo wins the ball back for the Lions and gives it to Gabriel Johnson. Takes a 1-2 off Howarth, but then just can't keep the ball under control. And Guiseley now trying to win it back off Wheatley. He goes back and the ball is cleared by Atkinson up to the halfway line. Sousa take it past Nicholson, causing him difficulties. Sousa goes to the ground. Referee's not interested in that instance. The ball kept in by Gabriel Johnson from the slightly loose pass from Howarth. Howarth goes to the ground under a challenge from Hatfield, who's less than impressed with the decision that Mark Howarth took on that instance. The ball's back with the goalkeeper.
There's been a little bit of needle between them in the last few minutes. To be fair, there's been a good number of argumentative challenges, if that's, you know what I mean when I say that, in midfield the whole way through the game. But it does just look like one team has a little bit more experience and nous, and the other is a little bit young and, making the wrong challenges at the wrong moments.
I think Guiseley Lawyer's just pointing out, quite rightly, a bit of a counter to your self-deprecation or Guiseley deprecation. But I'll just hang on for a minute as the ball's coming back into the box, as Darlington look to extend their lead. Guiseley managed to clear. Thankfully, Johnson's on the ball now. Gives it to Howarth, up towards Cian Harrett. Plays it back here to Johnson. Guys, they have a spell of possession here. Got options if you can play a good ball over the top. It's a decent one. Ryan collects it. The flag goes up. Oh, that must have been tight. Looked to be holding a good line there. In the end, it was likely the goalkeeper was going to get there ahead of the striker.
Come on then, why am I wrong?
So, no. Just saying.
This time. Why am I wrong this time?
This time. You're very sensitive this evening. Guiseley Loyal, just saying, as you were saying, Will Hatfield is a one-man hex on Guiseley, that we beat them 3-0 at Darlington in February. You know, just to set the record straight. That's a fantastic performance that day.
That's true, and that just shows my sort of myopia that I only count the games that I've actually been to and seen. That's why we can't pay Wallis.
There's many reasons why we couldn't do that. It's not just you, Nick. Darlington struggling to break down for a moment, but do hold on to the ball. As guys are just trying to chase around and win the possession back. It's been an impressive performance by the visitors, and McMahon has it now on the right-hand side. Sousa. Back to Wheatley. Hatfield. Hatfield has tailed it back here to Wheatley. Wheatley back to the goalkeeper. And it's lofted clear by Melvin Minter. Goalkeeper on loan from Harrogate. He's come down to the right-hand side. Sousa's got it. He's trying to beat Brad Nicholson. He gets it into the box, just beyond the players he's aiming for, and Polo can come away with the ball now. He's holding on to it. He doesn't feel like he's got an option, and you just feel like he's going to run into a blind alley. As you have to go back to the back line, where, again, that high press causes problems as Campbell stretches the Lions back line as we try to work out, and eventually and inevitably the ball is won back by the visitors. Sousa charges and goes down in the area. There's a clear play on the ball from Dan Cowan to get it back to Brad Wade. Howarth threads it through towards Harrett. Now Johnson collects, cuts in field. Johnson towards the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it square. Harrett inside the box, sort of stands on the ball as he tries to take it down. Can't quite do so cleanly. Does work very well to win possession back, though, for the Lions. Harrett into the feet of Umbeka now to the right-hand side, Dan Cowan. Guys, he got players forward. Ekpolo, heavy touch from Ekpolo. One of his better evenings. And the counter-attack could be on here again. Sousa on the overlap here. Comes down the right-hand side. He's just got one to beat. But Brad Nicholson holds up and does very well now. A bit more momentum from Guiseley perhaps here with Howarth. Oh, it's a poor ball in the end. It lands on the head of the defender with the overlap on the right-hand side in the shape of George Cantrell. Left gaping. Darlington come back with the ball. To the left-hand side, trying to get their way through that flank. Guys, he hold firm this time and clear. But again, the ball back into the Lions' half, and Hatfield picks up a loose pass. Plays it out to McMahon. He's got 3 in the box. Goes square instead to Hatfield. No hurry now for the visitors. 3-0 to the good with half an hour to play. The game seemingly won as Lewis Lang just dinks the ball left. The ball down that left-hand channel eventually runs out of play. And Guys, will get a throw. And it's a throw on the right-hand side. Still 3-0, Nick.
Well,
Oh, and just as soon as we think we might get a break to have a chat, Darlington win it back, and Sousa plays the ball from the right-hand side of the penalty area. Cannons back off Brad Nicholson and out for a corner.
all I was going to say was perhaps because Darlington know the game is won and Guiseley have very little to lose, it's opened up a little bit in the last few minutes. It's at least been a little bit more enjoyable to watch. Certainly been a lot more space in midfield and time on the ball for both teams. But that doesn't benefit Guiseley, who are not playing very well, you know. And here we are with another Darlington corner.
So a corner on the right-hand side. This one will be killed in by Sousa. In towards the edge of the 6-yard box, cleared. Follow up for McMahon, who wins the ball easy off Harrett and then drills it in from distance. Oh, it comes back off the crossbar. Fantastic effort. The flag is up. But that really would have been a tremendous goal, you have to say, from McMahon. He struck that one so sweetly. It curled, it dipped, it came back off the crossbar, and then when the ball rebounded to a Darlington man, the flag thankfully went up. Still 3-0.
It was almost like a golf shot, wasn't it? He stopped, he measured it up, and he sort of wedged his foot underneath it, so it had backspin and curl, and it was dipping down beyond the goalkeeper into the far side of the goal, looking like it had been perfectly weighted. And then, yeah, should have, it deserved to go in, didn't it? That was really nice.
Carl McCracken just on the Mixlr chat room saying, hi lads, on commentary. Heard your kind comment about massive Guiseley fan. Pat, I'm stuck in traffic back from a night shift on the front line. My colleague is typing this. And just wondered if you could give a shout out to my brother, Phil McCracken. Kind regards, Carl. Well, he says Philip would love it. Hopefully he did.
Okie dokie.
I'm thinking about it.
That won't make the highlights, you know.
Oh, I get it now. I'm looking forward to the comment from Mr. Freely.
No, you can't rescue it by doing little Simpsons references or something now.
Yeah, I fell for one.
That's okay. There's been a few of them. We've tried to weed them out, haven't we, this evening? But one made it through. Never mind. Well, thanks for your hard work on the front line.
Oh, dear. I fell for it. So, guys, we're still defending. Let's just go.
You're going to be on the defensive for a little while yet.
Oh dear. Darlington have a throw midway through the Lions half. I think I'll be hearing about this for a while. Sousa has it, cuts across the field, plays it to the left-hand side. It's picked up by Campbell, edge of the penalty area. Square, Hatfield. Hatfield goes square again. The ball still encamped in Lions half. Guys, you're not able to get out. Rivers up against Johnson, gets the ball into the edge of the area where Rivers will reclaim it from Maguire. The ball is eventually put in the net, but the flag is up, thankfully. Guys, he still struggling really to make any headway in this game. As Johnson gets the ball from Wade. As the ball goes into Umbeka. Howarth. And takes a knock and it goes out of play for a throw. Guys, they have the possession. Goes back to Brad Wade. And Brad Wade, meanwhile, just looking ahead of him. Can't see any options. Plays it out with his left foot. Goes up, it's headed away. And Howarth collects it. Plays it forward. It's blocked on the halfway line. Again, guys, he struggle really to making any headway in this game. As the ball goes in the area, there's a very sharp and alive Adam Campbell chasing down. And a hesitant Hamza Ben Sharif on that occasion. Clears it. But it just seems there's a gulf of about a yard of pace on it, all over the pitch this evening. A real gulf tonight.
Yeah, and maybe none of us were fully match sharp tonight. Strange to think it's still only 3-0 after that incredible own goal.
There's not been an own goal. Guys, they have the ball. It's Akpolo loses out. As Darlington press again. Hatfield drills it from range this time, just over the bar. 3-0 down. And have they hit the woodwork 3 times, Darlington? Is it 3 times now? It was twice, I'm sure, in the first half.
Yeah, I think so. And that just adds to the sense that this could be significantly more than 3-0 already. May well still be before the end of the game.
McMahon down the right-hand side. Rivers crosses into the box. McMahon will claim the ball again. Guiseley really trying to keep Darlington at bay rather than making any headway into the opposition half. Hatfield blocked by Mbeka. Mbeka collects it as the ball comes back off the heels of Jack Ryan. And now it's into the feet of Gabriel Johnson. He's trying to take the ball past Will Hatfield. He's dispossessed. Rivers comes over the halfway line, plays it forward. Challenge comes in, cleared by Ben Sharif. Howarth, chested down, cleared by Dan Cowan up to the halfway line, collected now by Wheatley once again. Guys in all sorts of difficulty here. Rivers collects the ball back and on the edge of the 18-yard box, plays it into the left-hand side. The shot comes in, saved again by Brad Wade. Good spread and a block. As Guiseley looked like it might actually get worse this evening. It's very one-sided though. I don't think that I can think of the last time we've looked away to our left. It's all one-way traffic at the moment. Now we're dipping shot from distance. Goes over the bar and behind for a goal kick.
Not a lot left to play for in this game, is there? It's the last 25 minutes, a bit of a dead rubber, really. There's not any likelihood that Guiseley are going to get back into this game, and Hartlepool just have to decide how interested they are in a humiliating scoreline versus conserving a bit of energy for their next and presumably more challenging game.
So we ball out again. And again, it's a corner to Darlington, right-hand side. And again, Guiseley have some defensive work to do. And again, I glance at the clock and realise we've still got 20 minutes of this. Goes into the box from that right flank by Sousa towards Rivers. Rivers has found space. All out to Sousa now, who's found some space on the edge of the area and is able to get a shot away. He can't keep it down. It rises and goes out for a goal kick.
Surely you, at this point, crack on and get Andy Kellett on, get 20 minutes in his legs and say, well, that's the one thing we achieved tonight was we started one player's return from injury.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you know, Nathan Newell, Andy Kellett.
Yeah.
Give somebody a chance. Isaac Curry's on the bench as well. Haven't seen much of him. Harriott gets the ball inside the Darlington half for a brief spell. We're looking away to our left as there's a chase on here to try and keep the ball in play. And unfortunately, works the way of Darlington. It goes out for a goal kick. Have we had a shot tonight, asks Andy P. I'm not quite sure. I can't think of an individual instance of a meaningful chance anyway.
Was there a chance really early on in like first 2 minutes? I can't remember anything since then. Oh my gosh. Honestly, we're playing against a keeper with no legs. And all you have to do is aim for the gap between his knees and his hips. And we've done nothing.
Well, the wind gusts around the ground. It knocks the lid off one of the dustbins in front of us. Lions trying to take advantage of the wind because it's clearly playing in our favour as well, which is also slightly more depressing as well. The opposition are playing into the wind. And it's back into defensive work for Gabriel Johnson, working hard to win the ball off Sousa. Howarth dispossessed. And it's back with Sousa now for the visitors. McMahon collects the ball back here off Wheatley. Challenged by Howarth and out of play for a throw. These are just one of those nights, aren't they? There are many nights like this. You follow a team. I'm sure Darlington felt like that after we beat them 3-0 at their place earlier on this season. There are just those days when you just feel that you've come up short. Your team haven't put in the shift or the performance that you expect.
Yeah, and we didn't know what the team would look like after a month out, you know, and a couple of weeks of it without having training together. And we know we're missing a couple of key players. I mean, we've really noticeably missed Kane Felix tonight. There's been absolutely no outlet, no cutting edge, really no pace up front, nothing to worry the defenders, you know. And I think you just have to accept that we haven't been very good. We have seen this across the pyramid, though, haven't we, since football restarted? I'm not saying this is a bizarre result. I'm not saying we don't deserve to lose, but we've seen teams who you would think would normally play better be all over the place and getting, you know, conceding 6 and 7 right up to the top of the Premier League, and you can't draw too much from it, really. It's not a pattern yet. We haven't. This isn't been the Guiseley that we've seen so far this season. So there's no reason to draw too much from the one performance, I don't think.
Has been one-sided, and obviously telling. You know, Darlington are in second round of the FA Cup. They've got you know, some matches under their belt. They've much more match sharp than we are.
Yeah, and I think that's it. Whether it's mobility, whether it's pressing, movement, whether it's better attacking and passing patterns, or just sharpness, whatever it is, they've looked like they're running at full speed, and we're sort of in slow motion tonight. And
Sousa just proving that point as getting the ball across from Mark Howarth, who to me looked like he was the better bet to win that ball. Guys, now defending once again as Wheatley collects. He's clipped by Howarth. Howarth is on a yellow card, but the referee not interested, and to be fair, I think quite rightly so. Looks like we're going to have another change on that far side. The red light, the glowing red ember of the substitute board is working its way through numbers. Not quite sure at the moment who's coming on. I don't know if you can see from this distance, Nick.
I think it is Andy Kellett.
Andy Kellett. So Andy Kellett might well be just making a little chink of light by having a return from injury. As it stands, we've still got a free kick to defend. The three-man wall is stood in front of this one. Will Hatfield's also lurking around, but it was going to be Wheatley who takes it. It takes a deflection. It's going to be a corner. So again, I would imagine that Kellett's introduction will wait as they bring the big men forward once again.
Yeah, it was a decent enough delivery, clattered through the wall and well out of the reach of the goalkeeper. So another corner to defend.
And corner goes short. Guys, he don't clear the lines. It comes back in here from Sousa, and that one is fired home. Absolute delightful goal from Sousa. He struck it with his right foot, curls it past the goalkeeper and into the top right-hand corner. And that fourth goal really does put this game to bed if ever it was in doubt. And Eriko Sousa has scored with 15 minutes to go to make it Guiseley 0, Darlington 4.
Yeah, picture perfect finish, wasn't it? Struck right into the top corner. The ones that look so nice when you watch them back, because they just hit the very corner of the back of the net. And Andy Kellett, spare a thought, starts his competitive Guiseley career as a final 15 minutes sub with his team already 4-0 down, coming on for Mark Howarth, who it's hard to pick anyone out, but hasn't been in the game. Mark Howarth has looked a bit lightweight, a bit lethargic, and honestly outthought by Wheatley and Hatfield for large parts of the game.
An out of sorts collective. That's what we've been tonight.
Yeah.
You won't pick out individuals.
No.
So much as the whole unit, as you say. Gabriel Johnson on the ball on the halfway line. Sounds on him. Ball back to Becker, who's arms are spread, looking for an option. Plays it into Cian Harriott. Goes out to that right-hand side. Guys are trying to work with George Cantrell down that flank, up towards Ekpola on the edge of the 18-yard box. And then as it's cleared, it lands almost kindly for Darlington. Fortunately is belted clear. So few mutterings on the Mixlr chat room. I think they're ones I can read out. Andy Kellett, better than Messi, is always one of my favourite monikers. Saying that he's sort of frustrated about some of the changes that have been made this season. And we started off well enough, didn't we? We were beating, Blythe Spartans, beating Atherton Collieries, beating Matlock, a strongish side in the division below. And ball is played forward by the goalkeeper and into the Lions half once again as Darlington press. The ball has gone to the left-hand side and into the box. As the ball is in with the goalkeeper, and it's Melvin Minter who's got it. Brad Wade who's got it and clears the ball. Slightly distracted because Dave's showing me something I can't read it with my glasses from short distance, so I have to wait.
I just thought your clockwork had finally run down.
I have. I've run out. I've run out of batteries. Put some more Duracell. Ah. So hopefully we're joined by Danny Lowe. Is what we're Dave's just pointing out.
Okay.
Yeah, he's watching his nephew Keane Harrit. I didn't realise that. Oh, that connection. That's lovely to hear.
Yeah, that's really good.
Got another player down at the moment, so there's a slight pause to the game. I can reset myself.
Oh, it's hard to keep the energy up, isn't it? There's not a lot to say. There's not a lot of football happening, and we're here as Guiseley fans. There's not a lot. There's not a lot for us tonight, is there?
Could be worse. Could be in Dover. Been in that scenario before, haven't we?
Yeah, with a 15-hour drive home again after watching an absolutely miserable game. Now, at least we'll all be home in time for bed tonight. Don't know how many of these players will sleep terribly well, though.
Sam Hubie on the Mixlr chat room is not going to catch me out this time. You're about 20 minutes too late.
Oh, dear.
Dear, oh dear. It's a pretty poor one as well, actually, Sam, I'm afraid. The ball's forward down the right-hand side. Shows a lack of invention. It goes out for a goal kick. As guys are too easily muscled off the ball. It's comfortable. It's a goal kick with 10 minutes to go. And a game that's got no impetus really now with the goals that have gone in. Darlington comfortably leading 4-0 here. Chorley beating Telford. There's going to be another substitute, by the way. Chorley beating Telford 1-0. Brackley 0, Kidderminster 2. Southport beating Bradford Park Avenue 2-0. Darlington come forward again with Rivers. Down that left-hand side, firm challenge comes in by Cowan to put the ball out. Curzon Ashton 2, Fylde 0. Hereford 0, Gloucester 1. Both down to 10 men in that one. And Leamington 2, Alfreton 3. What looks like being the game of the National North day. The substitute is about to be made.
I like that our listeners on the Mixlr chat room feel they have to announce that they're leaving, and I don't blame anyone for tuning out at this point. It sort of piles on the misery for those of you who are remaining to be to watching the chat room, and for us doing it, all of you going, that's enough. I've had enough. I'm going now. Just one after another.
Thanks for joining us anyway. We do appreciate it.
We really do.
Genuinely talking to ourselves otherwise.
Yeah. If you don't want to listen, just turn the volume down and leave the stream running, because then it'll look like there's someone that actually still cares about what's happening here.
Oh dear. On that note, is it time for another plug, pay as you feel?
What do you think this was worth?
Ball into the box again. This time, guys, are making a little bit of headway. I got for a moment excited that it might actually just break down, but Darlington holding strong, and the substitute that they've made is Levi Amanchi, who's just chasing down the ball down the right-hand side. He's come on for Daniel Maguire.
the honest truth is you need these evenings or these games as a football fan. You know, you don't win all the time, and you know, it does make the victory sweeter, you know, when you've sat through things like this. So, you know, it's just part of the experience, really. And in a sense, you know, in a way, you and I, we enjoy a bit of gallows humour. It's been an enjoyable enough sort of evening. The team have stunk and we've got thrashed, but, you know.
Now there's a chance here as Carrickson almost takes the ball away from the goalkeeper, takes a shot from distance. He then has his shot blocked. The goalkeeper does an acrobatic overhead kick to clear and then is conceding a foul. And just as Nick's on his soliloquy about how gloomy it's been and we're enjoying it anyway, with the Lions almost poke up with a goal.
Yeah, but crucially didn't even get a shot away. So, you know, that's how it went. Maybe we'll score an absolute worldie from the set piece here, Colin. What do you reckon?
Free kick, right-hand side of the 18-yard box. It's probably, a yard up from the 18-yard, the edge of the penalty area. It's a two-man wall, three-man wall, I think, being put in place. There's 5 players in the box. The Lions really going to try and get something out of this particular moment. There's a chance for this one to be curled in. Nicholson whacks it into the net. What a strike. And that's a fantastic goal from the Lions. And it's Brad Nicholson who's fired that one in with his left foot. A thumping goal. Guiseley 1, Darlington 4.
Well, there you go. Like I say, we may score a worldie from this set piece, you know. Sorry if you tuned out. You just missed the best goal of the game.
That was a tremendous strike.
It was fantastic. And much like Sousa's, I think it was the fourth for Darlington, that picture-perfect thing where it just meets the top corner of the back of the net just to make it just pop out at that back corner. You know it couldn't have been an inch or two higher and still been in the back of the net. Perfect. Very little to celebrate out on the pitch. You know, not a big reaction that you would want to get from a goal like that, because guys, they know they're still 3 behind with 5 minutes of the game left.
Spirits raised a little bit though, and Brad Nicholson plays a cross-field ball, trying to get George Cantrell involved. That one just curls a little bit too far. Lions are chasing after it though. Cantrell quick to collect the ball and roll it back. Put some more respectability on the scoreline, perhaps, with a second. Does give a slightly different inflection on the result, doesn't it? When you score a great goal like that, you know you're going to see that again. At least gives a lift, a bit of fight and a bite in these last 5 minutes or so would be at least something.
And you know, when we watch the sort of goal of the month highlights, it's going to be an oddity. You're going to watch that goal and you're going to think, yeah, that was the only good bit in that terrible game we had.
Sousa now collects the ball for Darlington. He scored a great goal of his own. He plays this time the ball to the other side of the penalty area. Back in field, collected by Polo. It's up against the substitute, Amanchi. He tackles. And the ball goes out of play. It will be a Darlington throw. And we're going to go down this left-hand side. It's up in the air. And again, a free kick is conceded by Guiseley. The momentum that we hoped might follow from that fantastic free kick that Brad Nicholson fired home. Slightly dissipating now. Stoppages. 5 minutes to go. Guiseley are again looking a little bit like they're on the back foot.
Long list of shout-outs in the Mixler chat room, but after what happened earlier, I'm not sure. I've vetted them. I think they're all okay, and I don't dare any one of them. But you know, thanks, Harry. And if those people are real, then we're missing them. And if it's I've just missed a really subtle thing that I won't hear until I say it out loud, then you know, no dice. I didn't fall for it this time.
Now the ball down the left-hand side. Picked up by Gabriel Johnson. Down that left flank, Harrett chases. Held off, though, really well there by Lang. It clears up to the halfway line, and it's played back in by Brad Nicholson. Gabriel Johnson, Polo. Dinks it square into Cowan. And chance here for George Cantrell maybe to see if he can make some headway down the right-hand side. But we haven't been able to collect the momentum on this occasion, and the ball is infield towards Mbeka, is a little short, but thankfully claimed again by Brad Nicholson, who goes back infield here. Kellett, who of course made a difference in helping create the opportunity for that goal, but Brad Nicholson could finish so sweetly from the free kick. The ball into the penalty area. Goalkeeper claims Johnson was chasing after it. The flag was already up on the far side. As the ball goes down here. Minter. Headed on here by Hamza Ben Sharif. Ball on the left-hand side. Sousa trying to beat his man. And the ball has gone out of play. I know that Sousa went down. It actually gone out of play for a throw-in on that far side. Goes back here to Cowan, who sends it up and over the top. Chases too much. And the ball rolls through to the goalkeeper, Minter.
I've been reprimanded in the Mixler chat room for, trying to say that there's been enjoyable elements to this evening's football. So,
well, in the scheme of things, that's football. So that's the enjoyable bit.
Better than watching Netflix, isn't it? Come on, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit of a change. Can't win them all, and we've very much not won this one.
Ball's gone long and collected here by Campbell now, who plays it high and into the air and into the box. Wade comes right to the edge of the area to claim it, judges it well, rolls it out. We start again. This time, I think Paolo collects on the halfway line. Cantrell, who's just really not got any headway today. Not had his normal effective game. And ball goes down that right-hand side. Goes out of play, and again another throw. Lions are eking their way forward in this instance. Kellett to the right flank, where a rather wayward pass comes in from Prince Ekpolo. Best bit about the move in the end, I think, is the fact that the ball didn't go behind and out of the ground. It just managed to catch that final net on the far side before bouncing back in. So that's one ball that's not been lost.
You see, and I was accused of clutching at straws.
Still good.
Yeah, dear.
Goal a minute.
Do you know what? We're barely into injury time. We've been here, what feels like 5 or 6 hours.
Andy P's joining in now. Andy P, give up. I'm not going to read out that number plate. Rivers up in the air. Goes back to Brad Wade, who coolly comes out into left-back position. Launches it up. Johnson tries to work his way past a couple of Darlington players. Has run out of space. Still chasing after the ball, the Lions. Unable to reclaim possession. It's out for a Darlington throw. Dave's knocked this scoreboard off early, I think.
No, it's 90 minutes. It dies on 90 minutes always, doesn't it now? It's new.
It's 90-minute crash. Throw in short from McMahon. Chested down by Wheatley. Blocked by LeBrun and Beckett, who I think out of all of the Lions has had the best game. I do think he's managed to disrupt play more than others.
It is clutching at straws, isn't it?
Oh.
Brad Wade's been the best
Brad
Guiseley
Wade
player by a mile.
Just pulled off a couple of good saves. The crossfield ball, from Darlington's perspective, goes out of play. I can't imagine there'll be much extra time or added time.
No, I haven't seen the board go up yet. The numbers were being filled in a couple of minutes ago. I saw it lit up. just underneath Ash Proctor's face, I think, over there in the fourth official area between the dugouts, but didn't see it go up. And it's not going to have a great deal of effect on the outcome of the game.
Callett trying to thread a ball through towards Jack Ryan. Darlington recover possession. This has been the phrase oft used this evening. Played the ball down the right-hand side. And now Gabriel Johnson collects and plays it in field. Princek Polo. And it goes into the centre circle. As LeBrun and Becker collects it to the left-hand side. Into Princek Polo again inside the penalty area. Guys who don't really, again, find a way through. McMahon clears. So it's going to be a throw that Brad Nicholson will take, and maybe one last launch of the ball into the box. Finds Callett, who finds a good ball into the area, and Harrick gets a shot away. Palmed away by the goalkeeper. There's another stab at it, and then it's put behind for a corner. Guiseley finishing with a little flourish here. I think that might be the first corner of the second half that the Lions have got.
Will this bit make the highlights? Because I'm going to read these names out. I think they're okay. But, well, I'd say Jack, Nathan and Harvey. And Harry said, could we give you a shout out? I'm not reading full names. I think they're all okay. I think it's a genuine shout out. So thanks for joining us. But we have been burned earlier. Let's hope we don't score here, because this really will end up on the highlights then.
Well, thankfully tonight's performance saved you. The corner comes in and it's hoisted clear. It's going to be a Guiseley throw, but the Lions at least having a little bit of a go at it here. And it's going to be a throw that's going to be launched in by Nicholson into the box, headed clear. Nodded on by Gabriel Johnson, but Guiseley can't capitalise. And so the counter-attack could be on here for Darlington. They play it over the halfway line. Sousa collects. And tries to curl the ball in. Nicholson gets the touch that returns it to Brad Wade. Ball goes into the Darlington half, headed away from Hamza Ben Sharif, who's staying up front just to try and find that damage limitation second goal. Guiseley trailing by 4-1. As the referee finally decides that that's enough. I think there's a few of us around the ground that thought that much earlier this evening, but it's been a pretty torrid evening for the Lions. The Lions looking collectively a little bit rusty, having not played a game for a month here at Nethermoor, and in the end that showed as Darlington got off to a great start with a penalty for Adam Campbell to convert. It didn't look an awfully convincing penalty. A second just before the break, after the ball was just to have gone over the line despite an almighty scramble. And into the second period, Maguire got off to the perfect start from a Darlington perspective before Enrico Sousa scored a real thunderbolt from the edge of the area. The best goal of the night, though, perhaps will go to Brad Nicholson, who scored with a late free kick, firing the ball into the top right left-hand corner of the goal and giving Guiseley a little bit of a lift on an otherwise disappointing evening. Finished here, Guiseley 1, Darlington 4.
Yeah, tough old evening for Guiseley. Probably a tough old listen and watch for those of you watching, hoping to see a better Guiseley performance and result. But I think we have to say that Darlington did the job very well. They pressured and rushed the Guiseley defence into making mistakes. They didn't give them any time on the ball, particularly in the first half when the damage was done, really. They had so much more energy and looked so much more mobile and sharp, and like they had a better understanding amongst their team than the Guiseley players did. And they were very good value for that 3-goal margin that they won by. So Guiseley will have better days. There will be other chances to go again. But the season's back underway, and probably the best thing we can say is it's unlikely to be that bad again on Saturday.
Exactly, perfect way to summarise. We'll be back on Saturday afternoon when, of course, we face Gloucester, the team at the top of the table. Doesn't get any easier. Just a quick rundown of those final scores then. Telford 0, Chorley 1, Brackley 0, Kidderminster 2, Brentford Park Avenue 0, Southport 2, Curzon Ashton 2, Fylde 0, Hereford 0, Gloucester 1. So they've won this evening at Hereford, and Leamington